Hey everyone, welcome to episode 2 of Misadventures Abroad. In this episode, I will be talking about the Mona Lisa in an episode that I'm calling Societal Value and Worth, a Mona Lisa Case Study. So the first time that I went to see the Mona Lisa was back in 2012 on my first Euro trip abroad with my friend John. And we went to go visit the Louvre because that is just a thing you do when you go to visit Paris for the first time. And I remember us going and chilling out outside for a bit prior to going inside to the museum. We took some pictures of the pyramids and it was cool. The time that we went, it was like mid-September, maybe like third week of September, and it was cold. In 2012, it was kind of like a fall day and there was not that many people in Paris. I don't remember there being many people in Paris at that time. Now in September it's a different story, but back then there wasn't that many people, and we just kind of chilled out outside, took some photos, and then went inside. We purchased student tickets using our international student ID cards. I remember back in 2012 it was 11 euros for a student. I don't know how much it is right now, but that is what we paid after we got our tickets, I believe, from the machine. Then we went inside. So our first instinct was to go straight to the Mona Lisa room. We just kind of wanted to go there first, get it out of the way, so that way we can spend the rest of the time that we were there at the Louvre visiting other galleries and seeing other pieces of art. So I remember us going up a staircase. This is what I remember besides going in and buying our tickets from the machine, is once we were inside, we went up a staircase, and I was so in awe of the winged victory statue that was at the center of the staircase. I have a thing for Greek art and Greek sculpture, so that was the highlight of my Louvre experience, was to see that in person as opposed to seeing it in a textbook. Anyway, I remember us going up the staircase, and then we were following people because everyone was going to see the Mona Lisa, obviously. And what I remember next is going through the archway into the room, into the huge room that the Mona Lisa is in, and just stopping right there, to the side, where the guard is when you enter the room, and just staring at all of the people huddled in the center of the room, pushing and shoving each other to get to the center right in front of the Mona Lisa. Now, I just wanted to make it clear, give you a visual of how this room is laid out. It is a huge room. In the center is a wall. On that wall is a tiny portrait of a woman who's smiling very awkwardly. She's encased in this frame that is everything's encased in bulletproof glass, and then 6 feet away from that is a velvet rope that sections off where the people can be 6 feet away from this painting that's encased in bulletproof glass. So everyone is huddled in front of that rope, trying to get their way to the center with cameras and selfie sticks and all sorts of things, trying to get either a photograph of the painting or a selfie of them with the painting. Right? So that is the scene. I just want to point out that from the doorway where we were standing, it looks outrageous. It looks insane because the painting legit looks like it's an 8.5 by 11 painting. I mean, I think it's about I don't want to say 9 by 12. It's probably a little bigger than that, maybe by 10 to 14. It's not that big. It's not a big painting, but from our vantage point, when you walk in, the minute you walk into the room, it looks so bizarre. It looks like a 9.5 by 11 painting on a wall, encased in bulletproof glass, 6 feet away from a rope that is separating the people, the herd of people, pushing and shoving their way just to take a photograph of the painting. So yeah, that is what you first see, especially if you go on a busy day, when we went, it was mid-September in 2012, and it was a very chilly kind of fall day, and Paris was not that crowded, but that room was pretty crowded. So yes, I can just imagine like in the summertime when most people go to Europe, how insane that room must be, because I thought that was insane. Anyway, we were completely fine just standing there by the doorway and just watching all the people push and shove their way to the front to get pictures of this painting. We like looked at it from afar, and I don't think it hit us how ridiculous the whole thing was until that point, until that moment where we were standing in that gallery just watching grown people push and shove each other just to get a photograph of a painting that they can just download the photograph of on the internet. And it struck me in particular how just insane people go over the Mona Lisa. And I say this because out of all the art that I've ever studied or ever got to see in person, I don't like the Mona Lisa. It's not a pretty painting. There's nothing remarkable about it. I don't find the woman attractive. I don't get it, I guess you can say. It's one of those things that I just don't get. And neither does my friend. Like, we were both just there like, wow, the hype around this one painting. It hit us then though, that's the thing. It hit us at that moment. And I remember us looking at each other and we're just like, wow, all of this for this one painting. I remember saying to John something along the lines of, imagine if society as a whole didn't put so much worth into this painting. It wouldn't be worth anything. There would be no people coming to Paris, to the Louvre, to crowd around this tiny painting of a woman if society didn't put all this value in it. It was like a really kind of profound moment for us, especially, you know, we just graduated college and we went off to see Europe, really, and we were so gung-ho to go to the Louvre and see the Mona Lisa and all this stuff, and then it's just in that moment we realized how really idiotic the whole thing was. Because honestly, society puts so much value on certain things that we think has value and worth because society says it has value and worth, but in reality, it's not worth anything. I don't know if that makes sense. It's like, let's use money. I'm talking about the US dollar. It's worth so much. So, you know, like a dollar is worth so much. The US dollar is worth so much. But when you actually look at it, what is it? It's a piece of paper fused with fiber that the government prints and can print as much as they want of, but because society sees worth in the currency, it has that worth. Does that make sense? But when you look at it on the surface, it's nothing but a cloth paper that's printed green with some dude's face on it that says a number. So we ended up talking about this right there by the guard, off to the side, looking at everybody, that, you know, society puts so much value and so much worth in this painting of this woman that is not particularly remarkable. And yet they put that value on it. And so people think it's worth this beautiful thing that they need to go see. And they need to cherish that moment that they go see it. They need to document it to prove that they were there to go see it because we as a society find value in it. And it's really insane. It's just so insane. And I remember us talking about it next to the guard, of course, because we didn't want to be in the way of people. We wanted to be off to the side. We were talking about it and we were just like, this is so insane. This is so crazy. And the guard next to us, like, usually museum guards are very reserved, you know, they're kind of like proper and they keep their composure, but this guard started laughing. He started nodding his head and just laughing because we saw the ridiculousness in the situation that he must see every single day. And it's just so funny. I don't know, it's just so funny. And the thing is, I don't want to bash the Mona Lisa. Like, I'm not going to bash Da Vinci. He did a lot for art and the Renaissance and everything just to push, like, this new art form, this new idea forward, you know, this rebirth of art and culture. He did. But to just single out that one painting, it's just, it's weird to me now. It's just so weird. Maybe it's like the situation, just being in a room of people, of grown people, acting like children just to get close to a painting that they can't even get close to. They can get 6 feet away from it, and they want to take selfies, and it's just so bizarre that certain things in our culture has come down to that, you know? So that's my little spiel about the Mona Lisa and my experience at the Louvre. I hope you enjoyed this little rambling video and you continue to follow me along with all of my misadventures abroad, and I will see you all next time. Bye!